From translation, TLB, the Living Bible. This 9th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Genesis 27 to 29. Genesis chapter 27, verses 1 to 40. When Isaac was old and his eyes were too dim to see well, he called Esau his older son and said to him, "My son, now then, please get your equipment, your quiver and bow, and go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare my favorite dish for me and bring it here for me to eat, so that I may give you my blessing before I die." Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. So when Esau went to the open country to hunt for wild game and bring some home, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare a meal for me so that I may eat it, and give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die.' Now, my son, listen to me and do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flock and get me 2 young goats, so I can prepare a meal for your father, just as he likes it. Then take the food to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies." Jacob answered his mother Rebekah, "But my brother Esau is hairy, and I'm not. What if my father touches me and I feel like I'm deceiving him? I would bring a curse upon myself rather than a blessing." His mother said to him, "My son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I tell you and go get them for me." So Jacob went and got the young goats and brought them to his mother. Rebekah prepared a meal, as her son Jacob had instructed her. Rebekah got the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. Then she covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with the goatskins, and gave the tasty food and the bread she had prepared to her son Jacob. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes," he answered. "Who is it?" Jacob said to his father, "I'm Esau, your firstborn. I've done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my wild game so that you may give me your blessing." Isaac asked him, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." Jacob went near to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he blessed him. Isaac said to Jacob, "Are you really my son Esau?" He answered, "I am." Then Isaac said, "Bring me some of your wild game, my son, so I can eat it and give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come near and kiss me, my son." So Isaac went and kissed him, and he smelled his clothes and blessed him, saying, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you of heaven's dew and of earth's richness, abundant grain and new wine. May nations serve you and peoples bow down to you. Be lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. Those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed." After Isaac finished blessing him, and just as Jacob had left his father, Esau came in from hunting. He too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. He said to him, "My father, please sit up and eat some of my wild game so that you may give me your blessing." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "I'm your son," he answered, "your firstborn Esau." Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted wild game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came, and I blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed." When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me too, my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." Esau asked him, "Has he not rightly named Jacob? He has deceived me twice. He took my birthright, and now he has taken my blessing." Then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessing for me?" Isaac answered Esau, "I have made him lord over you and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, my father." Then Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac answered him, "Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword and you will serve your brother, but when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck." Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. And Esau said in his heart, "Soon the time of mourning for my father will come, then I will kill my brother Jacob." When the words of her older son Esau were reported to Rebekah, she sent for her younger son Jacob and said to him, "Your brother Esau is comforting himself with the thought of killing you. Now then, my son, do as I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides. When your brother is no longer angry with you, I'll send someone to bring you back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day?" Genesis chapter 28, verses 1 to 22. Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and commanded him, "Do not marry a Canaanite woman. Go at once to Paddan Aram, to the house of your mother's father Bethuel. Take a wife for yourself there, from among the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and increase your numbers until you become a community of peoples. May he give you and your descendants the blessing given to Abraham, so that you may take possession of the land where you now reside as a foreigner, the land God gave to Abraham." Then Isaac sent Jacob on his way, and he went to Paddan Aram, to Laban son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, who was the mother of Jacob and Esau. Now Esau learned that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and had sent him to Paddan Aram to take a wife from there, and that when he blessed him he commanded him, "Do not marry a Canaanite woman," and that Jacob had obeyed his parents and gone to Paddan Aram. Esau then realized that the Canaanite women displeased his father Isaac. So Esau went to Ishmael and married Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael son of Abraham, in addition to the wives he already had. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth, with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. There above it stood the Lord, and he said, "I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your descendants. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you." When Jacob woke up he thought, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it." He was afraid and said, "How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven." Early the next morning Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar and poured oil on top of it. He called that place Bethel, though the city used to be called Luz. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, "If God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, and I return safely to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God, and this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house, and of all that you give me I will give you a tenth." Genesis chapter 29, verses 1 to 35. Then Jacob continued his journey and came to the land of the people of the east. As he looked around, he saw a well in the field, with 3 flocks of sheep lying near it because the flocks were watered from that well. The stone over the mouth of the well was large. When all the flocks were gathered there, the shepherds would roll the stone away from the mouth of the well and water the sheep. Then they would roll the stone back into its place over the mouth of the well. Jacob asked the shepherds, "My friends, where are you from?" "We are from Haran," they replied. "Do you know Laban, Nahor's grandson?" he asked. "Yes, we know him," they answered. "Is he well?" he asked. "Yes, he is," they said, "and here comes his daughter Rachel with the sheep. It is still high day. It is not time for the flocks to be gathered. Water the sheep and take them back to pasture," he said. "We can't," they replied, "until all the flocks are gathered and the stone has been rolled away from the mouth of the well. Then we will water the sheep." While he was still talking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. When Jacob saw Rachel, daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and Laban's sheep, he went over and rolled the stone away from the mouth of the well and watered his uncle's sheep. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and began to weep aloud. He had just told Rachel that he was a relative of her father and a son of Rebekah, and she ran and told her father. As soon as Laban heard the news about Jacob, his sister's son, he rushed to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his home. Then Jacob told Laban all these things, and Laban said to him, "Surely you are my bone and my flesh." And he stayed with him for a whole month. Laban said to Jacob, "Just because you are a relative of mine, should you work for me for nothing? Tell me what your wages should be." Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah had weak eyes, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Jacob was in love with Rachel and said, "I'll work for you 7 years in return for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban said, "It's better that I give her to you than to some other man. Stay here with me." So Jacob worked 7 years to get Rachel, but they seemed like only a few days to him because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife. My time is completed, so let me lie with her." Laban brought together all the people of the place and gave a feast. But when evening came, he took his daughter Leah and gave her to Jacob, and Jacob lay with her. And Laban gave his servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah as her attendant. When morning came, there was Leah. So Jacob said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? Wasn't it for Rachel that I worked for you? Why have you deceived me?" Laban replied, "It is not our custom in this place to give the younger daughter before the older one. Finish this daughter's bridal week, then we will give you the younger one also, in return for another 7 years of work." And Jacob did so. He finished the week with Leah, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laban gave his servant Bilhah to his daughter Rachel to be her attendant. Jacob lay with Rachel also, and he loved more than Rachel Leah as well, and served him another 7 years. When the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, he enabled her to conceive, but Rachel remained childless. Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, "It is because the Lord has seen my misery. Surely my husband will love me now." She conceived again and gave birth to a son and said, "Because the Lord heard that I am not loved, he gave me this one too." So she named him Simeon. She conceived again and gave birth to a son and said, "Now at last my husband will become attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons." So he was named Levi. She conceived again and gave birth to a son and said, "This time I will praise the Lord." So she named him Judah. Then she stopped having children.